damn time. We are live. So is this the background? Is this where you're living now?
Yes, sir.
Are you downtown?
Yeah, the capitals. Oh, sorry, that way. So
Are
these are
you
some of the
on
buildings.
Monroe?
I'm actually on Cascades Park.
Okay. Right.
So yeah,
that's kind of new.
yeah, Mill Stream at Cascades. It's an AC Hotel. It's right next to there. So real nice spot. A lot more ideal than where I was previously.
I love that view.
Oh yeah.
How many floors up are you?
I'm only 2, but that might be giving away too much of my information.
Yeah, after what happened at the last place, let's just end it there.
Yeah. But yeah, great spot though. Yep, great views. I love it because there's trains. We get to see trains all the time.
Yeah,
I was a big train kid, so it gets me going. Midday, I'm working away and hear a train. Come on, what could be better?
All right, I'm tweeting out the YouTube. I think I texted it to you.
I got you.
We'll get started here in a minute. Back on Big Man, Big Heart. Oh man, I'm fired up. I'm ready for this. Fired up, ready for the season. I sound good. My audio levels are
you
doing okay.
You sound beautiful.
So do you. We haven't done this in a while, so
angelic.
Just want to make sure.
Just nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, this isn't going to be my final setup. I'm just kind of winging it. I set up my office, but not like officially. So hopefully I get a backdrop of some sort and a little bit better lighting. But this is my office. This will be the first podcast that we record in my new city.
That's pretty exciting.
So yeah, we'll get it going here in a couple minutes. What time were you up this morning?
4:00. I get up at 4 every morning.
Especially in season?
Yes, sir. Yeah, especially in season. Camp, I got up at 4 every morning, beat everybody at the facility, hung out in front of the door of the training room, got in there, got some rehab. Our camp schedule was a little bit, I don't know how to put this delicately. It was long. It was very long. I was at the facility at 4:00 in the morning. I didn't leave till 9:15 at night. So that's probably got work, like 4:15 probably till 9:15.
All right. I sent you the tweet where we're going live. Hit retweet on that and we'll get started here in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good thing you guys aren't like salaried employees. You'd be making overtime.
I was thinking about that yesterday. Imagine if I was just making minimum wage throughout camp. I would have a lot of dollars.
That's probably why they put that 20-hour rule in.
The rule's there, but it isn't necessarily so. It's what binds you to the facility, right? I want to be the best football player I can possibly be. Why would I leave the facility midday for 2 hours during a required, I think, a 2 or 3 hour break after practices? I'm not that kind of person,
Yeah.
So I, of course, had to stay, watch film, grade myself, get rehab, get treatment. And Florida State did a great job in the scheduling. It was just, you have to make a decision, right? You're going to try to invest as much as you can in yourself. You're going to stay there at the facility and do everything you possibly can. Even just sitting down, having lunch with somebody you've never met before, get cool opportunities like that.
I think that it's just a liability thing, that 20-hour.
Oh, that makes sense.
I understand it from where they're coming from, but in reality, like, it's not doable.
Yeah, it's not doable, but I'm sure we'll see a day where universities are involved directly in name, image, and likeness, and athletes are paid some type of hourly wage.
They don't want to pay you all overtime. That's why it's a 20-hour rule.
I know, but it wouldn't. Things would have to stretch, right? I mean, we're talking about hypotheticals here, very deep hypotheticals, but with everything else, just put everything else up in the air and call it what it is. I think that could be a landscape we at least see. And if it was going that far and restricting by the 20 hours, I'm sure that would be extended in some way, shape, or form in favor of the players, just because of the amount of bargaining power that a player would have at that point.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future. All right, so real quick.
I don't know about excited, but anxious maybe. How about that?
I just like to see what happens. I'm not saying it's going to be good or bad. I'm always excited, like, to see what's going to happen. There's so many. I love, like, anytime there's a shift or change, like all the unintended consequences that come along with it, good and bad, that come along with it, I like seeing it all play out.
Oh yeah, it is fun to watch things play out, and it's fun to try to predict things when the first action happens in a sequence of events.
And just because I feel like it's going to happen doesn't always mean that I think that it should happen or that I think it's a good thing for it to happen. But
yeah, especially on name and likeness, things have been rolling pretty slow, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about NIL because I realized one of the things is that we're a year into this podcast, and I just want to kind of revisit NIL from like a larger topical view from you because you're involved in it. So I'm thinking we're gonna intro the pod. We'll get right to the football updates. 3 days away. Blah blah blah. A little NIL talk. Latest with Big Man, Big Heart. A little bit more on your life, shout outs, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going live here. We're going to tape this. Of course, every one of these podcasts is available on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're in here watching, hit the share button. We're going to just start recording the pod. And at the end, you know what? If you guys have any questions, you want to drop them in this comment box on YouTube, feel free to do that. And, we'll address some of them at the end of the show. So that being said, let's get this thing going. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Big Man, Big Heart with Dillan Gibbons. I am your host, Josh Newberg. This is episode 29. We are coming to you live on a Wednesday evening from YouTube. Shout out if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify as well. We are back from about a 2-month break. I did go back and look. We recorded a show in June. Seems like a long time ago. A lot has gone on. I've moved cities. You've started football camp. A lot has gone on. So Dillan, it's good to see you again.
Oh, we're a world away from that moment from our last pod, Josh. But it is absolutely great to be here. Great to hear your voice. Great to see your face. And I look forward to getting into this week's pod with you.
Yeah, man. So quick update on me. I made the move from the Tampa Bay area in Florida to Nashville. I'm starting a new job here real soon. I can't talk about it just yet, just contractually. I can't talk about it just yet, but it will be very soon. So we'll have another update on that probably the next time we tape. But I'm Nashville living, Dillan.
That's pretty exciting, man. My mom's a big fan of Nashville, so I know she's extremely jealous right now. I'm sure she's trying to convince my dad to make the move with you. But I don't really see that happen anytime soon. But hopefully someday my parents and you might be neighbors. So that could be fun.
That'd be great. I'd love to live next to the Gibbonses. But back to you. I mean, here we are 3 days away from the start of your final college football season. Has that sunk in, that fact?
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, I took a few days before we got into camp, right? We had, I believe, 3 days off or something like that towards the end of the summer session. And I thought a lot about my life, right? My dad challenged me to, smell the roses. It's something I always think of every morning, right? I have a picture in my bathroom. Whenever I walk in, I see it. But it's something I took to heart, right? And at this point, I've been through 10 football camps, right? 4 in high school, now 6 in college. That's a lot of football, right? So at the beginning of the camp, I challenged myself to have a perfect camp, right? To not have any MAs, to not have any blown blocks, to be as consistent as I possibly could be. And that's something that remained in my head throughout every single rep I took over the whole fall camp. And I can't say I was perfect, right? But I was definitely better than what I would have been if I didn't have that in my own mind. So I made up my mind before we got to camp, attacked it every single day, got the facility at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:15, and didn't leave till 9:15 at night. So I invested a lot at this camp, had some great success personally, individually. But as a team, I made a comment the other day. I'm doing Coach Norvell's show. We went out for our last scrimmage at camp, last Saturday, a week before game day. And it's a Florida State tradition, right, to go up and just about, I believe, the 30-yard line and turn back around. We all turn back around. Coach Norvell tells us to put our helmets up. First guy in the middle puts his helmet up and goes down the line. Well, Fabian Levitt put his helmet up. I put mine up, and it was a different feeling. Last year, sure, I had a lot of emotions going into week one, but at the same time, it made me want to sacrifice. It made me want to do more. Maybe want to leave a lot more out there on the field. And I can say, that change in mentality, it might not affect me. I was ready to leave it all on there in line last year. But for different guys, seeking motivation for our guys and our team, seeking brotherhood and seeking togetherness, I think it's going to be a game changer, right? And that's what Coach Norvell has been trying to instill in this team since I've been here, right? Trying to get more of the motivation coming from the players themselves, from player to player, than from coach to player, right? And I think it's absolutely great to see that within the team. I will say we had an extremely violent camp. We were absolutely getting after it every single day.
Love to hear that.
Coach Norvell does not shy away from 24-period practices and full contact. So we did a great job, getting together. Of course, you have some injuries on the offensive line and across, the board. But in the game of football, it's a 100% chance you're going to get injured at some point. But yeah, overall, very successful camp. Very glad to leave my mark here at Florida State, and do my absolute best every single day to challenge other people and trying to get people to live their best lives and to make that decision to become the best football player they possibly can be.
What are some of the characteristics of this year's offensive line? I mean, last year, we talked a lot about you guys just trying to get to know each other and figure out, the best pieces and who fits where. And I feel like a lot of that was kind of figured out last season. You guys settled in. There was a ton of combinations, but eventually you guys settled in. What's kind of the characteristics of this group this year?
Yeah, so we're a group of the smartest, the most intelligent, the grittiest and toughest, and most consistent football players on the team,
and best looking, right?
Yeah, and for the most part, we have our flaws, but at the same time, we built that consistency. Something I really admired about the coaches and the way they attacked this camp was they didn't, beat me to death. They didn't beat, the guys that have played a good amount of football to death, with reps and with the scrimmages and things like that. They gave a really good shot to the younger guys. They gave them an opportunity, right? And at the end of the day, if some guys didn't attack that opportunity, they still got better. They became better football players. And something that's been lacking here at Florida State is that quality depth, especially on the offensive line, right? We've had to roll with guys that had, pretty severe injuries throughout games just because we didn't necessarily have that quality depth at the next man in type position. So being able to, take some reps off the older guys that played a lot of football, guys that have seen a lot of fronts and, taking a lot of live reps, and give that to a guy that's up and coming, hungry, determined, and is ready to attack it, gives them that in-game type experience. And that's hopefully what we'll be able to have, this week going into week 0 against Duquesne.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Last year, the QB situation at this time last year was very much up in the air. Like, we didn't know, was it going to be Milton? Was it going to be Travis? And it kind of went back and forth. Obviously, Jordan Travis ended up being the guy, and when healthy, he was a winner for this football team. What's it like heading into this season, just knowing that that's your quarterback? Is it any different?
For me, it isn't much different, right? I came in, I just met Mackenzie Milton and Jordan Travis over last summer. So personally, not that much, but it is something you could feel in the whole team, right? Going out there every single day, not necessarily knowing who your guy is. That's a lot. Not knowing who you're protecting and sacrificing and gritting down for and all that great stuff. But being able to have a whole year as Jordan Travis, my quarterback, going through the off season, just the fist bumps, the hugs, the handshakes, the eye contact, all those great things that happen in the locker room and on the football field, that just adds to the motivation, right? Not only that, right, and the certainty of having him at quarterback, but it also helps him in his personal life, right? Becoming more of a leader. He wasn't necessarily the most outgoing person when I first met him, but he's become more of an extrovert. He's really been leaning on other people and bringing the whole team together, right, through his daily actions, right, whether it be slapping everyone's hand as he gets in the warm-up line, or the way he commands the offense. But he's done an incredible job this camp, extremely consistent, and there's no doubt in anyone's mind who our quarterback is here at Florida State.
Switching gears a little bit, we're going to talk some NIL. It's been a year since the start of this podcast. This is a product of the name, image, likeness passing in college football. You and I doing something like this is enabled through NIL. So I want to ask you, it seemed like gangbusters coming out of there. Everybody was coming out with their logo and their merch and everything. It was NIL. It was just, there was a hunger for it, it seemed.
Hmm.
What's your take on it just over a year later? Is it still at
Okay.
that fever pitch?
Here at Florida State, or just generally throughout the country?
What you're seeing just from a player's perspective through your
Things have
team,
definitely,
your friends, whatever it
yeah,
is.
things have definitely slowed down, right? I would say that there's been a separation, right? When the floor was flat, right? You had athletes from everyone across the country reaching out to random companies, right? Asking them for merch, asking them for supplements, asking them for massage guns, and all these wonderful things. Everybody was on the same level. No one really knew what an athlete was worth. Now that people are starting to understand what an athlete's worth, right? It's an obscure number to some
Mhm.
companies. Some companies are based off data analytics, and they're talking about the actual value of likes and shares and retweets and clicks to links. There's a separation, right? So you have some individuals that are working with different agents, different collectives, whether it be collectives for a university or collectives across the country. Those people are not necessarily actively seeking these name, image, and likeness deals. Most of those deals are either given to them, promised to them, or some other way they're come about. Then you have a group of individuals that isn't necessarily having the same success on social media or on the football field that are still trying to get name, image, likeness deals, right? These individuals, some of them, I'd say maybe 25% are actively seeking out these companies still. The other vast majority, 75 to even 80%, are just kind of sitting there, wondering what they're going to do, waiting for their shot. Similar to how a
Mhm.
player would wait and being a backup or maybe being a freshman, waiting for their day in the sun, right? Waiting to be the starting quarterback, waiting to be the starter in their position to have some success in the football field. They're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for someone to do something for them. And for that player, there's definitely an injustice happening right now. But it has been a very interesting space to analyze, right? I've had my
Mhm.
fair share of trials and tribulations through name, image, and likeness. But I will say, as far as everything goes with Big Man, Big Heart, we've done a great job. We laid really quality roots early on. I invested a lot of my own personal time and the origin of Big Man, Big Heart and the continuation of operation throughout our season into basically winter. Then my brother Riley Gibbons stepped up. Riley. Riley always steps up to the plate. He's the guy you can lean on when you're in a tough situation. But for me, he taken some of the load off Big Man, Big Heart from my plate, from my day-to-day operations. It's allowed me to invest more into football, more into myself, and more into my own well-being. And at the end of the day, he's done a great job. Actually hired an additional 5 interns for this fall. He just got off a conference call with them about an hour ago. But he's put together an amazing team to help put together some really quality events over this fall, including tailgates for every home game, and 5 or 6 different community events that will be happening in our bye week and in winter and before I hopefully get to the NFL.
You got any thoughts on any new rules that could be implemented, maybe to make things more streamlined or just make things easier for the athlete? Like sometimes rules are good, right? Like
Mhm.
sometimes you need boundaries, and from your point of view, is there any rules that should be implemented moving forward?
Sometimes rules are good, sometimes rules are bad, right? In the state of Florida, we have some bad rules in place, right? We didn't know how open of a landscape this would be. We didn't know that other
Hmm.
other states wouldn't have legislation, so it wouldn't be regulated. So I believe that what we currently have, as far as a bill goes around name, image, and likeness, needs to be removed, or amendment needs to be made, similar to House Bill 939, I believe it was. But at the end of the day, that's my first point, right? On the lobbying side
Hmm.
and getting some individuals, in the state of Florida, at least, more concerned about what's happening across the nation, leading to some recruiting disparities here in the state of Florida. On the other side of things, I do think that there are some repercussions, especially from the early surge of name, image, and likeness that are yet to be seen. Right? Maybe we've heard this or that from across the different ways, but even internally at Florida State, I've heard of some different situations that have popped up, and even the past a week, I've seen some awful things happen. Right? Of companies, claiming to be a company that the team's working with, but a complete fraud. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I will say in the efforts to educate student athletes, there is not enough being done. That's across the board. I can only imagine where the universities are going through. But just personally, speaking to different individuals I know through Big Man Big Heart, I have representatives all over the state of Florida, even
Hmm.
even in Nashville and a couple other places across the country. There is not standardized education. This isn't something where you have, one person come in and talk about financial planning and talk about the taxes around image likeness. This is something that must be available every other week. And if it's not every other week, if you're a collective, this has to be something that is absolutely drilled into the young minds of the student athletes involved. If they're not someone like, I don't know, the star quarterback, running back, someone that's going to be making a couple $1 million next couple of years, that doesn't have an agent, they need to know what's happening. So again, there's a lot of opportunities out there, right? As we saw in the beginning of name, image, likeness, opportunities were happening left and right. The same spark is not there. And the only way to get that back, the only way to get football players, more invested in creating their own, piggy bank off name, image, likeness, is to get individuals inspired to go out there and be their own entrepreneur.
All right, let's shift over to Big Man, Big Heart, the foundation. You guys can go check out everything Dillan's doing at bigmanbigheart.com. As always, the GoFundMes are there. Everything, all the initiatives are there. Bigmanbigheart.com. Dillan, what is the latest?
So the latest, I will say the tailgate is very exciting. We have a bunch of other, Tallahassee companies and companies from all across the board, including a liquor company stepping up to sponsor a tailgate, which is absolutely, it's going to be awesome, right? We're going to have a bartender. There's going to be food, drink. Basically, all you have to go is bigmanbigheart.com. You purchase a ticket to the tailgate. You can show up. We accept walk-ups. For the first couple of games, it's hard for us to estimate how many people are going to be wanting to come. But from the people I've heard in Tallahassee and the individuals I've spoken with, the past couple of days, there should be a good number of people there. But it's very exciting. My parents and my family and the interns that my brother brought on have really done a good job in making this something special. So it's going to be right there at the Legacy Walk. So as we're walking up to the stadium, it's going to be your last 10 on the right. And again, I really look forward to seeing some individuals after the game. What's going to be nice about it is we've secured a number of tickets, right, to be able to bring individuals from the Tallahassee area, from the Boys and Girls Club, individuals I've helped out, individuals that are associated with Big Man, Big Heart, to the games to provide them with an awesome game day experience. And this is going to be a nice central hub, right? Not only to help raise money for Big Man, Big Heart, but also to bring together the community, right? Individuals that we've helped out, individuals that have association with college football and different stories that we've run, maybe just bring inspiration to. It's going to be great to be able to meet with them and bring some football players around and, sign some jerseys and things like that after the game. But yeah, have some great conversations. And if you're looking to warm your heart up a little bit before the game, if you're looking to support a Florida State student athlete and you're looking to maybe meet up with some football players afterwards, please check out the tailgate. Again, liquor, drinks, all that wonderful stuff will be there. And if you're interested at all, meeting my family, they're all going to be there too. My lovely fiance and her family should be there as well. So if you guys would like to check that out, please do. We also just recently launched a new initiative involving Timothy Donovan. And again, we have some exciting things planned. But again, it revolves around a children's book that inspired Timothy throughout his struggles in the hospital. And what we're going to be doing is every single away game this season, Timothy's going to be traveling to those away games the day early to visit a children's hospital to be able to donate books ahead of schedule. So he's going to show up there with his family. My family is also going to join them for some of the games. They're going to donate a large number of books, depending on how much we raise in the GoFundMe. And the book's called Rumble Buttercup. And if you do want to check it out, it will be available inside the GoFundMe itself. But again, absolutely exciting. I actually have a copy of it right over here. I just finished it the other day.
Cool. Tell the people where they can get the tailgate tickets.
Tailgate tickets are on bigmanbigheart.com. If you look at our Shopify, they'll be available right on the front page of our Shopify. So you can check those out, different types of tickets. But again, it's a charitable donation, so you can be able to write it off at the end of the year on your taxes. And if it is something you're excited for and want to get into, we'd absolutely love to have you there. If you just want to show up, have a good time, shake some hands, please just walk up to the tent. There will be a couple of big man, big heart signs alongside the tent. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you there. And if you want to hang out with my family, meet some players, please just show up to the Big Man, Big Heart tailgate this weekend.
Great. And you can get the tailgate information. You can get the information to donate to Timothy's GoFundMe, all on bigmanbigheart.com. So you guys go check that out. Dillan, before we get out of here, how is school going? Is this your final semester, or are you going to have one in the spring?
Yes, sir. So I'll have one in the spring, but it'll only be I believe it's one class. Mm-hmm. It's going really well. I never really thought I'd be, almost through an MBA program by the time I was done with college. I just figured I'd have a lot of the back end or something like that, but it's been going very smoothly. I had a 4.0 GPA over the summer. And as we're getting into the fall, I have a couple of, unique classes. As far as outside of my normal MBA classes in order to remain eligible from the NCAA's eyes. I have to take my 9 credits of MBA courses, and I have to take an undergraduate course. However, they're offering a course around name, image, and likeness here at Florida State.
You
undergraduate class. I am in conversations right now. Let's just say that. The professor that is actually going to be teaching the class is way overqualified for the content, and I would absolutely love to have a conversation with him again. I'm just excited to get into it, excited to have some discussions, excited to learn more. Because again, this is a very vast landscape, and I've done my best to try to lobby for name, image, likeness with my minimal education and everything else that I've brought behind me and my family and my everything that we've learned throughout this process. But again, I'm looking forward to hearing some other perspectives and hopefully bringing a unique perspective to the classroom.
Very cool. Before we get to shout outs, we got a question in the chat about your beard oil. And also, before you answer that, if you look in the lower right-hand corner where the logo is for Big Man, Big Heart here, your beard like covers your chin, kind of. Maybe it gets like a quarter of the way down your neck. You are now like, your beard's almost to your chest. Does that mean we need to update the image too?
We might have to. We might have to get Delaney on that one. I believe Delaney created that logo back in
a year ago. So look at the growth of your beard, and it's like doubled in size.
Perspective. This is a pen.
Oh wow! So you're looking at like almost a foot there.
Yeah, it was about 12 inches when I measured yesterday.
All right. So Yak Crew in the chat here wants to know your beard regimen.
Beard regimen. Oh, that's tough. I don't do anything too special. I'm trying not to be too gimmicky. But I do use a beard balm every once in a while. The one that I use is made by Buchanan, and it's supposed to smell like what is it? I believe it's Bullet Bourbon. Yeah, that's just what I use. So that's it. That's all I did.
Yeah, what Dillan really meant to say is it's a combination of dirt, sweat, and Powerade that comes straight from the FSU locker room. You get all that dirt, you get all that sweat and all that Powerade, and you just kind of get it in there.
Yeah,
that's the regimen.
I'm no Caden Lyles. I'm not a prima donna with my beard. No, I'm kidding. Caden doesn't do anything either. He's a completely natural guy, and he has an amazing beard, very full. I got one of my best compliments I've gotten here in Tallahassee, actually, the other day. Let me give a shout out real quick.
Well, hey, we're to the shout out section, so take it away with your shout outs. I like that beard balm, though. You should package that into the Big Man, Big Heart. It's a little bit of dirt, it's a little bit of Gibbons sweat, and a little bit of Powerade.
We should get it done. Maybe Duquesne will reach back out. They claim to want to claim my beard. I won best beard in the ACC last year, which is an absolute crazy honor, right? Yeah. And Duquesne, they got hold of one of the tweets and tweeted back at me that they were going to reach out to me. And we've been going back and forth for the past month or so, or whatever it might be. But hopefully we'll come to a good conclusion. It's hard to try to work in a company like that into charitable endeavors because they can only they want to give me product. Like, how am I going to give that product to individuals to try to help people with their lives? Not many people have beards. So I'm trying to find that intersection of beards and giving back to the community. And it's definitely a creative problem.
Yeah. All right. Who else we shout
now? So it's called Burn the Breeze Barbershop. I met an individual named Dallas. He's actually the owner. It's an amazing barbershop in Tallahassee. Again, I've tried a bunch, and he gave me the best haircut I've ever had, like in my whole life. I'm not kidding. So Burn the Breeze Barbershop, check them out. They're right here in Tallahassee. Individual named Dallas. He owns it, operates it, does an incredible job. I'm not lying, and he's not giving me anything for this, and I'm just honestly giving a suggestion. I've never met someone that nice in my whole life. I try to be as nice as I possibly can, but I've never met someone I want to have like multiple conversations with.
You're very nice and polite. You guys must have had like a real nice off. Like,
we were just complimenting each other left and right. He won though. He won before I left, but he hasn't won the war yet.
You'll be out there unloading the clip of compliments.
I hope the shout out is just a big slap in the face to being nice, But yeah, Burn the Breeze Barbershop here in Tallahassee. Ask for Dallas. They do online appointments. I literally just heard about them over the weekend from my strength staff, booked an appointment, went there on Monday, and I was in and out, 20 minutes, the best haircut I've ever had. Another great shout out I got to give is Natural Truck Protection. They did a great job, and they helped, afford us a bunch of wonderful things over the past year. They've done a great job in their advertising for Big Man Big Heart to their different distributions. If you have a medium or light duty truck and you need insurance, please check out National Truck Protection. Again, Wade Bontrager, I can't thank you enough. And then last but not least, I got to give a big thank you to Good Sam. They've done a great job in supporting us so far. We're still working together, trying to figure out a way to connect on a few different events, especially involving the FWC and a few different other environmental protection agencies. But they've done a great job in supporting us. I'd like to give a moment just to thank them for everything they've done and for supporting Big Man Big Heart and helping us get this far.
All right. That's great, Dillan. It's been a pleasure being back on the show with you. We're going to make this a regular thing again, and good luck. 3 days away from the start of the season. Wish you guys luck. Go Noles.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see you again, Josh.
All right. See you later.